Welcome to part 2 of the video lecture on segmentation, presented by Grochowski. First, we're going to look at segmenting your business-to-business customers. Previously, we kind of talked about segmenting your consumer customers, but how do you segment business-to-business customers? In a lot of ways, segmenting business-to-business customers is a little bit easier. You can target specific industries. There's more research done on purchasing habits. It really becomes easier also when you talk about publicly traded companies, because there's certain amounts of information that they have to share when you're a publicly traded company, so that helps you out. One thing, when you talk about demographic information for a business customer is going to be different than a consumer customer. You're going to be looking at number of sales per year, the account size, the size of the company, which generally is going to be based off of employees. You're going to look at their NAICS industry standardization code to find out what industry they're in, and within that you can really break the segmentation down well beyond just retail. You can get in really specific types of retail, let's say, that they're going into. Geographic, again, same kind of thing. You're going to be looking at country, maybe the coverage or reach of the business, the type of firm that you're dealing with, and potentially the attitudes of the firms themselves. And so when we look at the different strategies, the first strategy we're going to be looking at is a multiple segmentation, where you are seeing if you have 3 different segments to pull from. Is there any overlap between the segments that you can attack with a single burst or single type of strategy that you can reach multiple segments? Then you have what we call the breadth strategy, and this is your ability to reach more than one segment with its product. And so you can see here there's product A that's reaching both segments A and C. Now, here they list in the slide video game, and video games can be quite interesting. When the Wii first came out, the video game industry, the average video game users are, believe it or not, males about 35 years old. And the reason why that becomes the average age is you have to think that is that first group of people that kind of grew up on video games. They're the ones that had the Atari 2600s and they played the Pong game, and they've moved into playing video games their entire life. But one segment that was created with the Wii that people didn't realize was senior citizen homes. And that became, in senior citizens, that became a big piece of, hey, they can go bowling without the rigors of maybe leaving their center or picking up a heavy bowling ball. And so it kind of created a new segment. And so they could take one product and they can go after multiple segments with that individual product. And then obviously games, if you look at how games are made, different games are definitely being targeted to different segments. Then the depth strategy is to have more than one product serve the same segment. And so you can have multiple products here that are going after the exact same segment. And then you can have a tailored strategy where you might use the one-to-one strategy, where you have one product going to one segment and then you create a separate product to go after a separate segment. So we talk about how do we evaluate our strategies. A couple things we need to look at. We need to collect data to evaluate our segments. How much do we know about those individual segments, and how much do they tie in with the products we offer, and how do our products meet that segment's individual needs? Do we have internal or external databases that we can access those statements to, those segments to? And a big part of it is profitability. How profitable is that segment going to be for us to go after? We may realize that there's a certain segment that just isn't profitable for us. You know, as at a college, if you're doing career planning or career training at a college, we're going to be looking at segments and profitability. And one thing that a college is going to do is they're going to look at how many people are in seats. How many seats are we selling for each individual class? Once we see that individual segment that we're going after go down, that's when we decide not to offer that program anymore, because it loses its profitability to the college. And then, how does it fit in with the goals of our organization? How does that target fit into the goals of our organization?